That should work. Okay. And then give me just a moment. One sec, I can't see anyone in chat. Give me just a moment. One moment. Okay. Perfect. Man, I still can't believe you can't put the word ADHD in fucking Twitch anymore. That's insanity. Can't believe that's against regulations. That's still so insane to me, man. Sorry, excuse me. Um, Apologies, I'm like doing a lot of things right this second. Uh, okay. Now let's activate sources and go to links. One moment. Trying to give me a second, y'all. Hold on. Promise I'm adding the chat real quick. Okay. Now it should be working. Okay, now y'all can speak. Y'all have a voice now. This is the voice. Anyway, alright. This is the voice! Anyway, alright. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna actually have everybody be on YouTube.
Hi, Color, how was your day?
It was okay. It wasn't, well, it wasn't okay. It was good. It was good. It wasn't like, yeah, no. It was good. I don't know why I'm saying that, like, saying it like it's a bad thing. It's not. It was good. How was yours? What would Twin 12 for you? Okay. Need to message everybody that I am live on Twitch right now. Boop. And, uh, let's... Oops, that's not who I wanted to message.
Mine was good. I kinda just stayed in bed all day 'cause of my dog, but it was pretty good.
That's good. All day because of my dog, but it was pretty good. That's okay. You know, it's okay to just relax and chill for a bit. Uh, and you were there with your lovely companion, so that's always good. Uh, okay. There. Anyway. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ooh, hey, wacko. Anyway. Alright.
Yeah, 3-0 yet. I think I said this already, but I watched the AI Analog Billy video.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you're never gonna get me to watch that. Thing was so fucking... was so creepy.
Aw man.
Creeper. Anyway. Yeah, I bet that's probably...
I got my mom to watch it.
to watch the creepy analog horror video? Cool. Good job scaring your mom from AI, apparently.
Yeah.
Cool. Good job scaring your mother. She probably already didn't like AI in the first place. I mean, she probably couldn't tell, but, you know, I don't think
I was
scaring
trying to
her
see what
from it.
meteorologist role is, and then I accidentally tapped the link to hear do da do do do.
Here, do. What? What do you mean? Oh, hear me go do. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I do need to actually do a lot of things with that list real quick. I get to...
No, she knew it was scary. I was telling her about it and she told me to send it to her.
Oh!
Whatever you were singing.
Oh, I don't know, I just make noises, you know, the ba-da-dum-bum-bum, you know. People don't sing like that anymore, but I don't know. I don't know what it's originally from, but my father would always do that thing where he's like, ba-da-dum-bum-bum, like, all the time. Is that McDonald's? Is that what he was really humming? On ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Da-da-da-da-da.
I'm
No,
not
wait.
staying, just funny.
Ba-da...
Yawn, bye.
Okay, you have a good night, Nemnis. Appreciate it. On. Ba-da-da-da-da. Oh my god, he was making the McDonald's
My
theme.
grandpa did that.
Instead of, you know, on. Cause that's how he always did it. He did like da-da-da-da-da. Like, and I'm never sure what exactly that theme was. It's either Sega or it's either Sega.
Sing Wentworth, 877 cash now.
No, that it wasn't like JG Wentworth 877 cash now. No, it's not da 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 da. Like that's like a different, that's like a specific theme. And I don't know
Hi
what,
there, laughing face.
because I always hum music all the time. So it's gotta be like something that he was humming.
Beatboxing puppy. Huh?
Nah, see, that one's more like da 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 da. Yeah,
I've
no.
seen the general too much.
The general too much?
Cashing and beatboxing puppy early.
I guess, apparently. That's fine. I'm trying to get rid of a bunch of videos because I accidentally like put them in a playlist thing, and I accidentally like.
Girl, we've been knowing how to
draw.
Beatboxing puppy. Huh?
You probably use that as many times as you need to right now. And we don't have many meteorologists here today, huh? Hold on, how many people are in the chat right now? It's like nobody able to join today? There's 13 people in the chat. Hold on. One sec. I'm gonna mention all these people. Like, cause like everyone, there's 13 people that are active right now.
I don't know, lol.
I don't know why the hell they're not showing up though. I mean, you know, it's a little much, but hi Derp. How you doing? How's work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hoping to 12 for you. I'm just mentioning everyone. It's so weird that like. It's so weird. We have all these people, and none of these guys are here. Wonder why. Yeah, I know that's weird to say, but
there's IG5 PPL here.
I guess 5 people here. Yeah, there's 5, but I don't know. There's 30 people online right now. I'm not complaining. Like I said, it is what it is, but I'm like, I don't know. They're all meteorologists, so they should be able to do that shit, but I don't know. They have like, there's like 5 people that are in the busy, like, category. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyway.
WTF, I just got the weirdest dog treat ad.
Weirdest dog treat ad? I don't know what you mean.
I made a TikTok with the lonely lonely song dance thingy.
Hi,
with
Pepe.
Gacha, with my GF.
How's work?
It's a bit
How's
wonky,
errands?
but I love
How's your
it.
day in general?
Smiley
Hope it
face.
went well for you. That face. Why are you screaming at me? Why are you mad? What did I do? Like I just got the, I made a TikTok with the lonely, oh yeah. Lonely, I'm so lonely. Somebody to call my own. I didn't know that there was a trend with Gacha Life though. Sorry, I'm trying to like, there's like a whole fucking playlist.
My life sucks.
Why? What happened? If you don't mind me asking. God, there's so many of them. Why is there so many, like... Sorry, there's so many
No,
videos.
not that.
There was like a whole queue that I had, and I accidentally put it all in watch later. And, like I say, I accidentally put it in watch later, and it ended up like...
I'm the lonely lonely, I guess I'm lonely.
Not familiar.
That trend.
What trend? I'm sorry, I'm not like, I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't young when when Gacha Life came out, I was already a grown-ass man. Like, fair warning, so I don't know anything about Gacha Life, you know. Other than like the small things when like adults at the time would be like, man, these teenagers are making like weird gacha heat shit, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's weird, but whatever, you know. But there was also like someone that also was showing the wholesome side of it and showing that like Gacha Life is like some like actually another way of creative like writing and expression, which is interesting, and how like some teenagers still made like stuff that was still pretty
I fought
decent.
for my job back, but everything is getting more stressful than before.
Oof.
Should I send it to you so you can, probably, get the trend?
I probably won't understand the trend if you just send me a trendy video. That's the problem, is you don't get a trend
I only
unless
saw the
you...
gacha heat, unfortunately. I
You...
was never into it.
Yeah, me neither. Honestly, by this point, well, here's the thing, is all the fucking Gacha Life people just are artists now. That's the thing, they don't do Gacha Life anymore. They now just draw. Most of the people that, like, most of the artists now, like, a lot of the...
America is completely trash.
Agreed. I can completely agree with that. But the thing, yeah, but you know, that's the point of us trying to make it better and fighting for the future rather than letting corporations take it. You know, trying to prevent the Confederacy from happening again, because unfortunately that's what's happening right now. Anyway. Yeah, that. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because all of them just draw now. Like, basically all of the... Like, I knew that that was gonna happen. Essentially, like, all the people... Like, I hear all the time now, like... I mean, when did Gacha Life come out? Like, 2018? And, like, the average age was, like, 12 to 15?
To get some OC
Hold on.
accessory ideas, but really that's
When
it.
did Gacha Life come out? Let me see. It came out in 2018... And I think it was popular in 2019, 2020. So then... No, it was popular in 2018. That is interesting. So let's see. I mean, and then if the kids on average were from 12 to 15...
Hi.
That means that that means that even the youngest one is about... Let's see. 5, 6, 7, so 7 plus... Yeah, so the youngest one that even, like, consumed Gacha Life is 19 now. So it's like, yeah, they're just artists now. Like, a lot of... I remember seeing something where there was, like, a teenager that was... Or, like, teenager. I mean, it was a young adult that was, like... yeah, did any... Like, everybody... It's like, yeah, Gacha Life, like, really made me inspired to be an artist. And I knew that was gonna happen.
I saw the word gacha. I can embrace my gacha phase.
Well... I can embrace my gacha phase. Yeah, I mean, you can, because, I mean, like, here's the thing is, Gacha Life, like, people, like my age were, like, shitting on it, right? Like, a lot of people were shitting on it at the time because Gacha Life was just a bunch of assets and put stuff together. And it was puppeting, right? That was pretty much all that was really going on, right? And then kids were making like little videos out of it, right? And that's completely fair, right? You know, it is what it is. They were kids, who cares, right? You know, but there's also a wholesome side to it where
Oh,
a
damn,
lot
that's why
of
I'm
the
an artist.
where a lot of the what do you call it, where a lot of those guys were, hold on, wait a second, I there is a positive to this, where a lot of these kids were learning how to make writing, like good writing, at the age of like 12 like 11, 12. And now like ever since, and now like what, Gotcha Life is from 2018 and then got like popular in like 2019. So I'm like, and those kids, those same 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds are 19, which honestly pretty good, right? I was an adult when Gotcha Life was a thing, so like obviously like I wasn't into any of that shit, but I was aware of it because a lot of people at my time were like the joke was like, oh, weird Gotcha Heat shit. But you know, lo and behold, those same people, like, you know, not the people
I'm
that
writing a
did the
novel.
Gotcha like, yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying, you guys became better writers, and Gotcha Life inspired you to draw your own characters. It inspired you to draw. Like, and that was a good thing. That's the weirdest thing is, like, Gotcha, like, if, here's the thing is, I think people tend to forget that, like, it's like, you know, currently at the moment, there's this weird always phase where there's that moment where people are uninspired to be artists, and then people are inspired to be artists, and uninspired and inspired, right? Gotcha Life was a form of inspiration at the time to be artists, right? Like here's how the phases went with entertainment, right? So when I was younger, you know, when YouTube was first a thing in like 2005, but I kind of more joined, I was more like around 2008. Art ended up being a huge thing from Newgrounds, and that went until about 2011. And then there was this whole like phase of like where people were gamers, right? And then then people did gaming stuff, right? And then people were like kind of uninspired, but then people started playing indie games, and people were inspired to be artists again.
I tried to get water in them.
Ooh. Water in your eyes? Why? Yeah. And then, like, you know, then the next phase happened where then eventually these people
Then
became,
I tripped over my cat and got water on him.
ooh, yay. Or cat. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and then, how do you say it? And then there was that phase where like drama happened, and then people didn't want to be artists again. And all of a sudden, then let's see. So it
Poor
went,
kitty.
you know, it went from animations, game animations that were like related to video games, to
Oh, cool, a little
to
fun fact for you,
playing
my
video
sister was the
games.
developer of this FNAF fan game called Knocking on Heaven's Door. There was a contest of who could make the best FNAF fan game and win $1,000. My sister and the rest of the devs won. The money went to charity. It's a really good fan game. It's actually high quality.
I
Sent the
actually,
thingy in memes channel.
I think I remember
It's okay,
that.
it's here RN.
I remember that, honestly.
He's being mean though.
I think I remember that. If you had someone directly that you
Hi,
know.
Cass, laughing face. I love FNAF.
Yeah, I think I do remember
Hi,
that.
Herb.
I don't know. Like, honestly, that probably, it's kind of cool that you know the person that won that, though. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
I love FNAF.
It went from, so like, yeah, here's how the whole art cycle goes, right? It always goes like, sorry, I'm gonna draw another freaking chart, right? You know, it always starts with like, it starts with inspiration,
OPWHYD, it's sent twice.
right? So here, it starts with inspiration, right? You know, this is from like 2000, this is like 2008, right? Like 2000, I'm gonna say like 2007, 2008, right? Like to maybe like
Looks
2000
like my sister was Princess Mousy in the credits.
to 2011, right? You know, this is essentially like, but before that was just like, what do you call it? But before that was like cat videos, right? Like cat videos, maybe some meme things, but cat videos were like the ones that were like, you know, the ones that were the top right now, like Annoying Orange, and like even like skits used to be pretty high up there, but
Sorry,
they were
I'm in a
never
talking mood today.
they were never as good as cat videos, right? So essentially they would do 2000, like, this is like kind of the time of like not much inspiration, 2005,
I mean, I always
you
am,
know,
but
and then you go like, you know, 2005 to 2006, you know, And then you go from like here, and don't get me wrong, the cat videos are still present here, but the artist, like the art, like the gaming art stuff actually was a lot more popular back then, right? So then, you know, then you got that like people inspired by artists from, you know, this time period, right? But then eventually you go back down again to, you know, this is, you know, this is the era of like the first adpocalypse, right? I think it's like 2013 is when it first started. Like 2012, 2013 is when the first adpocalypse first started, right? You know, and essentially
Oh, my GTG, I forgot I have school tomorrow.
all right, you have a good night, Cass. Appreciate it. Another ad. What? How'd you get another
Bye,
ad?
laughing face.
How'd you get another ad? From what? Hold on. What? How'd you get another ad? Wait,
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, what the fuck? How'd you get another ad? What did you do?
But bye, Kaz.
You shouldn't. You should only be getting one ad every hour. It hasn't even been an hour yet. Yeah, anyway. So it goes it starts with cat videos, then, you know, it started with cat videos, and that was like the stuff that people are like posting, right? Like it wasn't necessarily inspired, right? But then you get artists, right, that were making like content off of like parodies of video games, right? And that was like the type of thing that you made, right? Everything that was like based off of video games that did really well, right? You know, obviously there was other custom art based things that were more like original series as well, but that was the main thing, right? But then you get to like 2013 where like, you know, the adpocalypse happens, right? And advertisers start pulling out because of some bullshit. I don't remember exactly what happened. But yes, they pull out of that shit, right? And then essentially what happens is you start getting people that are uninspired, right? Then you start getting people playing gaming videos because now YouTube prioritizes watch time and people try to get as much watch time as possible. So then, you know, then you get the gaming area where people were
again, but my sister designed Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy anyways. Continue.
Yeah, you're good. I gotcha. Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. Well, shit. Well, she's a very talented person. How do you say it? Yeah, you know, then you start here, you get to the gaming stuff, right? And then, you know, then all of a sudden, again, we have another round of, then we have story time animated channels, right? Those started becoming a common thing around like maybe 2016, I want to say. There was obviously videos that were like commentary videos as well that were also happening, but it was mostly centered around gaming, right? Now you have the commentary channels, but they are turned into animated storytime channels, right? So then you end up getting the art channels that end up being storytime animated, right? Animation is back once again in 2016, makes its comeback. Well, sorry, maybe 2015. I want to say 2016. Like there was also an era in like 24, yeah, from like 2013 to maybe 20, you know, let's say 20. I want to say it was fairly short. I mean, 2015 is when things started making a comeback, so I'm gonna say probably from like 2015 to 2016, or is kind of where like the Storytime animated channel started coming in, right? And then, you know, that started inspiring more artists again, right? But then we went back to the cycle again where Storytime animated channels became were uninspired again, and then you got drama channels, right? You know, and drama channels essentially make a shitload of money again, and this was around like 2018, 2019, right? This shit also started in 2016, but it wasn't as prominent, and then it kind of like came around, like started becoming extremely popular in 2018. 2016, it was still existent, but the storytime channels were the most popular. Drama channels were not as popular yet, but around 2018 is kind of when they really started making a huge, I see you got new cute emotes. Oh yeah, no, that's fans making my emotes. So yeah, they made me cute emotes, so you can thank them for it. What was I gonna say? Damn it, fucking stupid ass goddamn Discord thing. Yeah, so essentially, you know, you go from you go from what do I call it? One sec. One moment. Sorry, my partner is texting me. Okay. Sorry, guys, I forgot I was white for a second. No. That's not what I said. Okay. And then, you know, this isn't like a white boy moment. Alright, alright, yes. Then you went from storytime channels to drama channels, and then basically went back up where you now have original series. And now there are original series and original animation. We went from video game, kind of like gaming based stuff, and there are still some original things, right? To, you know, we went from cat videos to skits and like animated stuff, right? To, you know, to like stuff based off of video games, like into art, you know, and like memes and shit, right? This is also when memes kind of started becoming a big thing, you know, to, you know, the gaming era. We went from cat videos to the artist era, to the gaming era, to the storytime animated era, to the drama era, to the original animation era, right? You know, and this is what's happening right now, right? You know, the original animation era, right? Which is something that people really like, right? And then you go from the original animation era to the, what do you call it? Then you go from the original animation era.
Era.
Oh wait, sorry, no. I was wrong. Hold on, no. I was completely wrong, completely wrong. Hold on, no. We went from the drama era to the Gacha Life era. My bad. The original animation era isn't there yet. We have the Gacha Life era, which is from around. It lasted fairly long, right? It went from around, I want to say like 2019 to about, I'm going to say 2022, 2023.
W-O. Pounces on you.
Thank you for following on Twitch, derp. I guess. Question mark. I know you went from YouTube to Twitch. I don't know why that is, but hey. Yeah, we went from 2019 to 2022 is kind of when the Gacha Life era happened. And then, I
got bored on YouTube.
I'm trying to figure out what this era is, right? Because, like, there's also an era before this, right? We kind of went back to the commentary era, which is not necessarily,
Welcome
like,
to the rich neighborhood.
which is not necessarily the bad, like, which isn't necessarily the bad thing, you know? It's not necessarily a bad thing because this was still like not like super inspired, but it was kind of good fun poking at people for like stupid shit at the time, right? You know? And I guess the commentary era made it kind of come back, right? You know, the one from here became bigger and then ended up like, but it was not really based off of like, it wasn't based off of things like drama. It was based off of things like, you know, Instagram influencers and TikTok influencers
really fucking hurt.
and making fun of all the influencer based things, you know, which was probably near around the same time. It was around maybe like 2021 well, actually, no, even then this was around the same time, around 2018 to around 2018 to 20, yeah, it's even the same era. It's really weird, right? And this is still going on strong to this day, though. It's just different, right? It's just now it's just a little different, right? But here's the best part about it, though. Then, you know, during this time, there's also another thing that also came up that is, you know, Gacha Life is not necessarily, you know, Gacha Life is not necessarily a thing anymore, but, I mean, it is, but it's not like, you know, what it was, right? And now we have the original animation era, which is probably something that happened around 2023, 2024, I want to say. And really started getting inspiring, right? People started making original animation more often, right? Original shows, their own custom things, all of the round, right? Gacha Life, it's a weird anime thing that like you use like little.
I like gacha. Except very certain
You
TPL.
use templates of little chibi anime characters, and then you put them in. Then you like put them in little positions, and then what do you call it? Then what you do is you make like little videos off of these anime characters and make little stories. You know, basic animatic stuff, kinda. You know, but obviously with presets, with pre-made assets. You know, it was what it was, right? You know, and then yeah, then you know, and we're in the original animation series. Unfortunately, commentary is still very much alive, but
Interesting.
we have something that did become more of a common thing, where now we don't just have drama, because drama still exists, right? It's still going to this day. But I think but the thing is, the laziness of content though is a like the newest thing that is pretty bad is AI, right? You know, and this is the laziest type of content. This is like, content farms have always existed, right? Content farms started around this era, right? You know, actually, you know what? They started even later than that. They started around like 2017, right? You know, I don't even actually know when content farms started. Maybe 2014? I don't know. Content farms, you know, started somewhere around here, right? You know, somewhere around this era, right? And essentially, like, these guys are now like, you know, that's the new thing that people are
You can
going
check out
for,
gotcha vids
right?
on YouTube. Just be careful which vids you watch, Pepet. Not all are good.
Oh yeah. Don't be careful, because some are like heat related videos. Some of them actually are doing some weird things, but you know, yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, here's the thing too, though. I guess during this time as well, right? Technically, like, content farms have always been a thing. Not always, but it wasn't a thing around, like, here's the thing is, around the era from like 2005, I want to say, right? All the way until about like 2011, 2012 is when is kind of like where content farms didn't exist, right? You know, this is where it's in its own, like, this is where it starts branching into its own
Okay,
thing,
he'll keep
right?
it on my mind.
Like, you know, there's like this is kind of where it starts branching out. Now the weird thing is, a lot of people that are gonna talk about like content farms, right? They're gonna be like, oh well, content farms didn't start that early. It started way up here, right? But that's not entirely true, because guess who were the main content farms at at first? Fucking Minecraft. Minecraft was the very first type of content farm. Was people playing Minecraft to be able to make money on the internet, right? Purely for the content and not for the people, right? That is the very first content farm. The Sky Does Minecraft, the
I'm hungry.
true Minecraft universe, you know, Deadlocks, Cool Dude 15 or whatever the fuck, you know.
Same.
Like, you know, Vicstar, the fucking, all those guys, right? That was the original content farm. Hold on, I need to go get some water. I'll be right back. I'm like losing fucking consciousness
True.
by fucking not drinking water. I'll be right back. One moment, y'all.
Hydration, color. Hydration. Hey, I'm here.
Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I'm back.
Hi, a clown.
Yes. So, like,
I'm late though.
yeah, during
I want
the
chicken
whole
nuggets.
that whole time,
No, actually, I want
right?
fish and chips.
You know,
Yum.
during that
good
whole
tartar sauce.
time,
Yum.
there was
Again.
the how'd you say
Sad
it?
face.
There's that weird time, like where content farms actually have been around a lot longer than people think, right? Now, don't get me wrong, there are still people making like Minecraft stuff, right? That were like they're making good content, right? Now
I
here
want Hawaiian rolls.
there are the people that needed to do it that were still trying to be creative and make people like feel like they're still watching something good to content farms, right? You know, content farms were essentially like started around that Minecraft era. You know, people that and you know that's how this went, right? You know, oh, the eras of YouTube, you know, with like the types of genres of content and how like it always goes through a weird cycle. You know, this weird cycle of like uninspired, inspired, uninspired, inspired, uninspired, right? You know, fish and chips. That sounds awful, but maybe that's just me. Yeah. So people like content farms started from Minecraft, and then they went from Minecraft to I think they went from Minecraft to like Sims and Roblox. You know, Sims, Roblox. And then they went from you know, and then they went from that to FNAF. And then they went from FNAF to what else did they do? They went from FNAF to I mean they went from that to I think they went from FNAF to the Elsa Gate thing, which was also fucking weird. They went from that to like Elsa Gate, and they went from Elsa Gate to now again, keep in mind, all of these types of content farms, like we're still going off of what was popular, but remember the people down here still actually had like inspiring things that they were making, right? But the content farms always had to make something new, right? Then they went from that to Elsa Gate, I think. They went from Elsa Gate to AI, right? You know, that's the new cycle, right? And here's kind of the reason why a lot of times people get really pissed off is because content farms have always had their struggle trying to like, they've always had their struggle trying to like get to people that actually like quality content. Because eventually people would grow out of these kinds of things and actually go to people that actually give a shit about what they're making, right? Holy fuck, I'm so hungry. I need fish and chips and color. What you really don't. I know what fish and chips are. I'm just saying Dr. Pepper and fish and chips just does not sound good. It doesn't sound like a good combination. It sounds crazy. Oh, you're right. There was the Friday Night Funkin' era. I don't know if that's really necessarily a content farm, though. Okay, this sounds weird. I guess they're, You know what? Was there Friday Night Funkin' content farms? There was Among Us content farms. You know what? You're right. Hold on, I am missing a few things here, because AI was not the new one. Hold on, one sec. There was another one. You're right. There was also Among Us as well that became a content farm, and Squid Games, of course, but I think Squid Games was fairly short. You're right. There was the Among Us one, right? You know, there was the Among Us one where
Sounds good to me.
Where it was very like small, right? You know. Then there was the Among Us era, you know. Then there was what do I call it? I guess FNF2.
Yeah, I just want
or,
DR Pepper when I'm done with the fish and chips in like 30 minutes after and we get thirsty.
This sound.
Now we have brain rot.
Well, that's not a content farm. Brain rot isn't necessarily a content farm. Those are shit posters. This is the meme era, right? You know, that's the meme era. Those people are still inspired, right? They're not like, it's not necessarily the best thing, but people that are shit posters, that's me. you know, sure, there's another form of shitposting, which is brain rot, but that's like another subcategory, right? In memes, you have brain rot, right? You know, in memes, you have something like brain rot, right? You have another branch that is brain rot. You know, you have me, which is like the YTP guy, which is like, you know, like I'm a shit poster, right? You know, so we have the basic shit poster, and now we have another subcategory, which is brain rot. You know, brain rot is another actually, you know what? Not even the meme category. Brain rot is a subcategory of not memes, but shitposting. Shitposting has become, or not shitposting, brain rot is another form of shitposting. It's just the difference is shitposting is its own subcategory, and then memes is where it came from, right? You know, but this has always existed, right? You know, this shitposting has always existed, but brain rot is just the new shitposting. Oh, hell no, Color is mapping out content farms like it's history. Where do we go? Where did we go right? This is cinema? Yeah. Well, I mean, like, this is the thing is, right? Like, this is how it started. Here's all of the people that were inspired, right? You know, these are the people that actually try, like, the people at the bottom, this whole list right here are people that still tried to keep things like creative and try to keep things in the field of trying to keep quality content over quantity, right? Even with like feeding an algorithm, they still tried to make something that was worth watching, right? These people did not, you know, and that's the difference, right? You know, and that's why we have the thing to AI now, right? That's the big difference. We went from, like, content farms have never really tried, right? Oh shit, I forgot about the top 10 list too. Hold on. You know what? I also forgot about something else. Top 10 list, you know. We also forgot about the thing where everybody did top 10s. That was another thing. You know, we have people that were like, ooh, top 10 blah blah blah. And then we went to FNAF. Sorry. We went from Minecraft to Sims and Roblox to top 10s to FNAF to brain rot currently is just shit posting. It's just shit. Yeah, I mean, it just depends, you know, that's kind of how shit posting has always been, though. It's never made sense. It's just supposed to be something that people just look at and are like, okay, that was neat, and then just move on, right? It's never been, like, sophisticated, right? And the only reason why people like see shitposting as like a high quality thing.
Put in the Undertale era.
The Undertale era was kind of near the
top 10 funny moments of 2017.
I don't.
Top 10 scary videos.
I think the Undertale era.
What your favorite says about you in 2021 to 2022.
What your favorite says about you? I don't remember that. I don't remember what that was. Yeah.
Then just hate in 2022.
Yeah, Undertale was essentially like Undertale was a part of the FNAF era, I want to say. These two are in the same era, right? You know, FNAF still came before, but Undertale was definitely like a continuation of that, right? You know, Elsagate came afterwards, right, for these content farms. But then, you know, you have like FNAF and Among Us that also started becoming popular with content farms. Here's the thing is, the good news about like
did you forget Animal Jam?
Animal Jam? Animal Jam wasn't a content farm, was it?
Speaking of Undertale, I just bought Undertale and its peak.
Oh yeah, dude, it's pretty good. It's got a good story. It just isn't replayable after you do the genocide and the peaceful route, the true peaceful route. Yeah. You know, you go from Minecraft to Sims and Roblox to the top 10 to FNAF and Undertale to Elsagate. You know, they went from Elsagate to Friday Night Funkin' and Among Us to AI. And oh, sorry, actually, you know what?
We're talking ABT content farms.
Yeah, this is content farms specifically. The people down here.
What is Elsagate?
What the fuck is Elsagate? Don't look it up. It's Spider-Man and Elsa fucking, and they showed that shit to children. I'm not joking you. They showed these like marketable characters and basically made them like pregnant and shit and just made a bunch of fetishy content for children. It was a really.
Don't forget about the free Robux.
That's the Roblox era.
Yup, what the fuck?
That's the Roblox era. The
I've
Roblox,
seen that,
yeah,
unfortunately.
that's the Roblox era. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did forget a different era before this. During the top 10 era as well, there was the Clash of Clans era.
Not a content farm, but they.
There was the
Or-
Clash of Clans era, which also was an app, which was like an app that people played on their phone, and that was like the first time that apps ever became like popular. Like not popular, but like became like a thing that people made content out of. Because beforehand, people would just go like, oh yeah, let me play some Angry Birds. People made full-blown careers off of Clash of Clans. That was the next content farm era. You know, during the top 10 era, Clash of Clans was like fucking massive. You know, I know it doesn't seem like anything now, but that shit was super massive for some odd reason. And then, you know, Amazing Digital Circus, right? You know.
And for today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, like, essentially...
Fortnite content farms.
Yeah. Fortnite would probably be... Actually, Fortnite would probably be near the same time.
ABT the don't call at 3 a.m.
The Fortnite would probably be the same time as, like, the Elsagate for content farms. You have to remember, just because these guys, like...
I fucking hate Fortnite.
Just because, like, these guys, like, the new guys exist, right? That doesn't mean that all of these genres didn't keep continuing, right? You know, cat videos still exist. They're just not as prominent, right? You know, they're just not the thing on the platform,
One
right?
left on YT.
Artists are still a thing on, what do you call it? Artists are still a thing on, like, on YouTube, right? Like, artists are still a thing on YouTube, obviously, right? Memes are still a thing. Original. Oh, yeah. Original content is still a thing. It's become front and center, right? Skits are no longer a thing, right? Skits unfortunately got taken out, right? Gaming content evolved from artists making
How was
the
your
gaming
day,
content
BT?
and skits making. It was good. How about yours? How was work? How's errands? How's your day in general? Hope it went well for you. You know, then we went from, you know, after the demonetization era, we went from that to, you know, then gaming happened, right? You know, and
I wish
gaming
Vine was back.
continues to still be a thing, right? You know, it still continues to be a thing. You know, that's where like Minecraft was still there, right? Captain Sparkles and shit, right? People were still making animations based off of that kind of thing, right? People were still making, like, what do you call it? Then, Then we had Roblox, right? You know, then Roblox became popular, right? And then we had FNAF, right? You know, and then we had, what was it? Then we had Fortnite, right? You know, Fortnite got popular at that time,
Markiplier.
you know. Then we got Markiplier. Markiplier was before this.
Do you want to see my Fursona in Peppa Pig art style?
Sure, why not? And then, you know, then we got the Fortnite era,
Yes.
right? You know, and we got the Fortnite era, and then we got the Friday Night
Hell
Funkin'
yeah.
era, you know. Oh, sorry, wait, I'm skipping an era. We got the Fortnite era, then we got the Undertale era, and then we got the what do you call it? Then we got the Undertale came before Fortnite. Hold on. Wait. Undertale became before Fortnite. Sorry. Then we got the Undertale era. Then we got the Fortnite era. And then we got the
Hello, fellas.
then we got the FNF era, the Friday Night Funkin' era. And then we got the how you say it? Then we got the Among Us era, obviously. You know. We got the Among Us era. And then we got the and that's pretty much so far that gaming has gone, right? Past the Among Us era, and then I
Holy
think
crap, I'm in Fortnite.
then we're back to Fortnite again, right? You know. Now we're back to Fortnite. I don't know what other games are really common right now.
Not much happened, but
Yeah.
my mom said before she went to sleep we might go to the ER for your hand because my F#CK #SS fractured it.
Ooh, shit. Uh-oh. Your mom fractured your hand? Yikes. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is there's always subcategories that exist, right? You know, like these categories are still going to be played, right? You know, I mean, obviously now we have like Deltarune and like a bunch of indie games. Like indie games is becoming like a huge fucking thing, right? So it's like, you know, sorry, you know what? I'm completely incorrect here. Fortnite isn't the one that came back. We're at indie games
No, I
now.
did.
And you know, indie games have made a huge fucking comeback. And that shit hasn't existed since the fucking Minecraft era. You know. Oh, sorry, I forgot Happy Wheels. Hold on. Happy Wheels was also before Minecraft.
PPL are getting back into Minecraft, and with horror mods.
Yeah.
At least from what I watch.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember when Pepper in Fortnite was a joke.
Yeah, well, like, here's the thing is, we went from, like, that's the thing
It was
is,
just a joke.
these are people that still try to make
Driving in my
things.
car right after a beer.
Here's the thing is, man, these things essentially, like,
Lois, remember
the,
the time I went onto a stream made by some random dude I didn't know and just became a recurring viewer? Hey, that bump is shaped like a deer.
who? Oh, Kabeko. Yes, I do remember that. Yes, Lois, I do remember that. He bumped into this weird furry called Color Storm. This is weirder than that one time I went to a furry convention. I just cut to a furry convention. Yo, dude, let's fuck. Oh yeah, let's fuck. Oh my god, whoa, fucking, isn't that cool? Yeah, fucking, yeah, let's go.
Tata, the horse is here.
Let's go have sex in our private room. Oh yeah, that sounds cool. It's just like starts fucking oh yeah. And then it just like fucking cuts away.
Happy Wheels is a content farm, then I think Gmod should be considered one too.
Well, that's what I'm
I'll
saying.
go 100
Well,
miles
this
an
isn't
hour.
this isn't the content farm. This isn't the content farm branch that I'm talking about. Content farms are up here, right? You know, content farms are up here. I don't think that Happy Wheels was necessarily a content farm. Actually, you know what? You're right. You're right. Happy Wheels was a thing they used for content farm at the time. And Gmod. You are totally correct. Happy Wheels and Gmod, Happy Wheels, Gmod, and even Black Ops especially were all used for content farms. And then it went to Minecraft, right? You know. That's the thing is, these are the ones where like how you say it? These are the ones where like the one down
Go back to
here.
that one video where PPL had to guess who was the furry and can they found out who was a furry. A guy just asked all the furries if they fucked PPL in their fursuits.
That's funny.
TW, why do you keep saying you have ADHD in your titles?
Because it's funny. because I do have ADHD. And it's funny to say old ADHD. It's kind of interesting for an old ADHD man. It's really, here's the thing is, we have seen what ADHD is for children, but like it is
ADHD, Brian.
it is very interesting that like I have become like
Brain.
it is interesting you could just now like talk about like you could literally see
Little did you
the
know I am filled
in
up on
real
gas. I am
time.
gonna get you our fountain making ass.
Can get your fountain making ass. Fountain making. What? Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like now, you know, I don't know, it's just like a
Surprise,
live
Truly
experiment.
Luluak with my Bergen Trulyuk.
Yeah. I made my Linux Mint look like a Windows XP in the past, and yesterday I made it have SFX from the Ultrakill Smile OS. I have seen Ultrakill, or I know what Ultrakill is. I've heard of the title, but I've never actually seen gameplay of Ultrakill. But I do know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing is, this is the uninspiring era, and luckily, here's the best part about that. Luckily, I think content farms have finally hit a fucking wall. This sounds crazy, right? But they finally hit a fucking wall, right? And thank God, because here's the thing is, like, are they making quote-unquote original content? Sure. In very, like, large quotes. But it's not, they're stealing, the AI is stealing shit, right? But, like, this is uninspired, because these guys can't think about, like, anything that actually is original in their damn life, and can't do anything creative with it. So here's the interesting part about it. This whole era, all of these guys... Cool. Getting snoofed, I guess. have ADHD. I bet someone else in chat on YouTube or Twitch does. Oh yeah, dude, a fuckload of YouTubers have ADHD. Yeah, YouTubers have had ADHD since the beginning, dude. We've had ADHD since the fucking skit era of YouTube. You know, who do you think makes the content? The people that don't have ADHD are way the fuck up here. I mean, there's still people that don't have ADHD that make quality content, right? But like, you know, a lot of people have ADHD have been down here making all these things, you know, coming up with all these ideas, right? You know, it's one of those things where excuse me. Yeah, it's one of those things where like how you say it, where like it's just the inspiration era is here, right? Unfortunately, there's still the AI trying to drown people out, but guess who it's not drowning out? The artist. It's still really awful at drowning out artists because people are like, Netflix has recently, right? Netflix has put money into AI, right? All of these companies have tried to put money into AI, right? To try to make it like fully a thing, right? People don't watch Netflix as much anyway, right? Because people have gone to YouTube. Why? Because YouTube actually has anything you can make on here, and it's catered to you, the person, right? You know, unfortunately, it's no longer YouTube, but it's more like algorithm too. But you know, you get my point, right? It's still catered to you, the person, right? Netflix isn't necessarily catered to you, the person. W. Billy, the AI, yeah. And that's the thing is, the problem is, and that's the best part about it, because of these content farms, the AI is uninspired, right? Here's the cool thing about everything that's happened, though. Making original content, people have somehow made it to the level where analog horror has made a combination with like the FNF, or with like, not FNF, I guess the FNAF, yeah, I don't know. Analog horror has somehow come, like, people are making analog horror AI, which is fucking perfect because people are already terrified of AI, right? Making analog horror out of that shit to make something original is brilliant, dude. Because what's gonna happen is that's how you fight it. These guys are gonna be able to take out these guys. Because here's the thing is, if AI is more like known for analog horror, then they're gonna completely eliminate the content farms from AI, right? That's the cool thing about it, because if they scare the shit out of, hi Dakota, how's work, how's errands, how's your day in general, hope it went well for you, you know. Anyway, I think you're a good artist. Why? I don't know, but you don't draw with pixels, at least, unlike me. Don't get me wrong, I like pixel art, but like, it's difficult. Yeah, well, you're a better artist if you can make pixel art. I can't make pixel art. You know, you're just a good artist, period. You know, it doesn't matter what type of art you make, you're just, you know, you're an artist. You're not gonna be better than the best artist, but that's not necessarily a thing you should be shooting for anyway. You know, everyone can make better art than me, but that doesn't mean that I don't still try to draw. You know, I'm not even necessarily an artist. I'm a shit poster. I don't make good art. I just shit post. You know, I want food, so I'll go get food then. Yeah, he's good because, what do I call it? He's good because he tells people to not watching those videos, but in the most terrifying way. People are for real smart. Yeah, no, honestly, dude. Yeah, that's the craziest thing is, he's straight up, like, because here's the thing is, kids are the ones that are watching content farms, right? It's children. That's the worst thing about it. It's little kids, right, that are watching these content farms, right? Why? Because kids are like really popular things and don't really explore, like, don't know how to explore the internet yet, right? They don't know how to make their own possibility, right? They're not here yet, right? This is where teenagers are, right? Anybody that's like 13 plus, right? These are the people that are starting to explore their category. Now, don't get me wrong, they've been here before, right? But eventually, these kids go down to the era where they are like teenagers and they're exploring actual content, right? But kids are actually the ones that are going through content farms, right? And it's evolving, right? And essentially, here's the best part about it. because of the fact that these analog horror, like analog horror has always catered themselves to children, right? This sounds crazy, but children are the biggest consumer of analog horror. Now, kids have always loved analog horror, right? Can't get food because it's 12 a.m. Okay, that's fair. I make good art, I doubt that. You do, so don't doubt yourself. You know, it doesn't matter what you think, your art is your art. Art is good, you know, no matter what it is, man. You know, it'll wake my... Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. Kids have always loved analog horror, and the best way to eliminate them from going to this AI phase is literally showing them analog AI.
Skittles dog is still being very Skittles dog shaped again, I see.
I am, very much. Yes. Okay, I guess I'll stretch. Yeah, you know, content farms, it is kind of very interesting right now because there's always been a counter to content farms, but this is actually pretty fucking sweet that, like, it is kind of sweet that, like, because people are afraid because, like, okay, AI is going to drown out the internet, right? Because these people put in low effort garbage.
Just add an F to the beginning of my art, that's it. That's what it is.
Nah. X to doubt. Fun art? Wow. It's amazing.
BTW, I used a clip of your live stream to censor my house address that showed up in a video.
What? Wait, what video? In my video or in your video? That's fine. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah.
Oh, color, have you seen Nosy? There's a guy making a 10-foot tall named Nosy. Obergefell? Haven't heard that name in a bit. Amazon needs to cover your address when it senses it being screen recorded.
Oh yeah,
Can I ask what that extra ping from the server was about? XD, sorry I didn't see it sooner.
no, it's fine. I just don't think people see the meteorologist ping, so I just, like, notify individual people. Because, like, honestly, I don't know who actually is here and who's not. So. Oh, I accidentally notified Nemnis.
Oh god, I saw. Animatronic named Nosy. Fucking terrifying with what I saw. Anyway, bye. Take care, fellas.
Alright, you have a good night, Kabeko. Appreciate you hopping on by for a bit. Yeah. So, that's the thing, man. It's just like, that's how you do this, right? You know, these guys have always been inspired, but, like, the problem is, it's just, you know, YouTube is YouTube on occasion, right? YouTube is YouTube on occasion, and it doesn't give a flying hell about, like, what people do. But lately, AI has been tearing YouTube apart. But here's the cool thing about it. YouTube basically was like, okay, AI is, like, actually tearing us apart, so fuck AI. It's like, you know, they're still trying to, like, put it into the, like, they're still trying to, like, they're still, like, trying to, you know, use AI themselves, but they're like, nah, no more content AI farms, right? You know, you can make content farms all you want, but if it's AI shit, nope, get the fuck out, you know? So essentially, they're tired, they just hate this shit, right? Not because of the fact that they care about that it's a content farm, they care about quality, they just hate AI because it's, like, sucked all the money out of them. Is burning the ever-living shit out of their like storage, right? You know, Google hates that shit, so essentially they're like, okay, you know what, fuck AI, like, you know, it's like we're just gonna move on and we're gonna use our own AI systems to do other things. But if we, like, you know, like, making fucking AI content, fuck that, you know. People just suck with using AI because they think it's art and they're stupid. It's not art, though. It's image generation. Here's the thing is, these guys can't come up with their own ideas, so their AI is never going to catch on. That's the thing is, you still need a human to make AI. You still need creativity to make AI. And lo and behold, guess what we just made out of AI? Guess what, like, humanity is just made out of AI? The human part of, like, even with people that are using AI right now, like, with some people are, like, analog